innovation, resilience, agility. It's how Michigan businesses continue to work together to make a difference now and shape the future. Join us and make your mark where it matters. Visit michiganbusiness.org/radio.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back, legally, on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle, presenting Live Day. It's back Tuesday, November 20th, baby. What could possibly go wrong? This year we're going to one of my favorite places, Steve, Snoqualmie Casino. You know why?
Why's that?
Oh, they got a buffet to die for.
Crab legs!
Yeah.
I love their crab legs.
You think maybe we'll figure that buffet out before, during, or after Live Day? I think I will.
Well, not before, because we're getting there very early, BJ, and I don't know about having crab legs for breakfast.
Crab legs!
But after? Crab legs!
Yeah.
We don't leave.
No, we don't. Our show and the men's room will be completely live, and for the second year in a row, we're inviting you, yes, you, to join us as part of a live studio audience. And you know what Live Day's about, and if you don't, well, it's sound effects, commercials, music. There is nothing pre-recorded. Even our big boy voice, Malcolm, we fly him up, and he hangs out with us for the entire day.
Our buddy Craig Gass has even told us he's coming out. He was there last time.
Yeah.
The last 2 years he's joined us, and now it's a must-do thing for him as well.
It's a tradition because it went to the next level when Craig joined us for Live Day because he really helped us out with a lot of stuff. And tickets, they are on sale now. You can choose from GA General Admission or get that premium experience package where you'll actually get to see Steve.
Crab legs!
That's the premium
and my
experience.
crab legs.
Yeah, and his crab legs.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun because not only do we do our show live, obviously on Live Day, we do it there, and then when the show's over, then we do a little after the show party.
Yeah,
where we hang out with people, Q&A, the Megacast. Ted Smith and I, we're going to do a podcast live there as well. The Rock Girls are going to be doing their thing.
Whoa! It's a hell of a day.
It's a big day.
Yes, it is a big day.
As soon as we're done,
crab legs! Oh, man. And I love Snoqualmie Casino. Yeah. So this is fantastic. If you want more info, if you want these tickets, go to KISW.com. Live Day is back, November 20th. Oh, it's going to be so good. Loving it. Loving Live Day, baby. All right, got a new survey, and you know what? You know me. I love my time travel. I love my Doctor Who, so you know I'm going to read about this survey, asking people to name the top things they'd miss if they went back in time.
Ooh. Top thing.
So in other words, if you got to live, say, 100 years in the past, a lot of people reminisce and they go, you know what, I wish I was born in the 60s or I wish I was, living in the 40s or 50s. A lot of people reminisce, but you'd miss some stuff that you take for granted now.
I'm with this texter, GPS. And also indoor toilets.
Oh,
dude, toilets right there.
Number one, Brev, toilets that flush.
Absolutely.
I'd be okay with an outhouse.
I would too, because if I live with the Rev, I would want him to be in the outhouse.
Yes.
Yeah, but you have indoor plumbing, which is amazing. And if you have an outhouse, you don't have like baby wipes or anything. You just have to deal with it.
Yeah, you do.
And it's gross and nasty.
Why do you think perfume became such a big thing in the Old West? Because people were smelling like, they were.
Smelling like doo-doo.
Yeah, exactly. The toilets have been around since the early 1900s. But again, if you want to live in the Old West, you ain't got no toilet.
What about social media?
Social media.
Not that I would miss it, but I feel like a lot of people would.
I am looking at this. There's two things on there that would actually connect social media.
Internet.
That would be number 2, the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And number 5, I just saw it. Number 5, your smartphone. So I think that really, if you have the internet, you have your smartphone, that gives you social media. You'll miss that. I wouldn't miss that.
I think I'm with that texture. I think GPS would be the number one thing I would miss.
Oh, yeah. Just for me, I was a nightmare driving, trying to get. I used to be such a bundle of nerves trying to get somewhere, and I'd
big
write,
map.
What
was it called? The Thomas map?
The Thomas Guide.
Yeah, the Thomas Guide. My dad was a master of that thing.
Oh man, I'm so spatially challenged. I had to write everything out. I had a big notebook of directions to everywhere I needed to go, and if I'm going to that place, I pull my thing out, and there it is. I would be,
with all the landmarks he had to turn by.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I was. That's one of the reasons why I joined AAA was because of Triptych, because they would actually give you a nice little notebook of turn-by-turn direction. It was awesome, and of course, with the advent of smartphones and GPS, Triptych is pretty much a thing of the past. But that was one of the greatest things about AAA was Triptych.
All right, Chris says, "I'll poop on the ground. Give me my damn internet."
All right, well, you know what? I think we'll give him his internet just to see him poop on the ground.
Oops, it says no toilets means no indoor plumbing, which also means no showers or taking a bath or a rinse bowl.
Yeah, well, you can take a bath old school. You got to fill up those big tubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how about this one? Refrigeration.
Yeah, central heating, air conditioning, and all of that stuff that helps refrigeration because, you know, central air conditioning and refrigeration are all helped by whatever, Freon or whatever the hell we use now. You're right. It's not on the list, though. Refrigeration is not on the list. That's surprising. Is it because they had ice boxes or they could get blocks of ice and throw it somewhere?
The only reason why I know anything about ice boxes was being a kid watching the syndicated repeats, the reruns of The Honeymooners. Every once in a while, the ice box delivery guy would show up with a giant slab of ice for their box.
Yeah, and I think that show was popular in the 50s. So maybe ice boxes weren't around like in the Old West.
And I'm thinking that the way they did food back then, they kind of, you know, took into account, hey, things are going to go bad, cook it now, or they kind of had a different... Because when I went to Mexico, they do refrigeration a lot different with certain foods. And I don't know if it's a pasteurizing thing, or pasteurization thing. So maybe it's not needed or wasn't needed.
Oh, it surely wasn't. People still were alive when there was no refrigeration, so we know it wasn't. The one that we are all missing that I would die if we didn't have. Come on. Baseball.
Board games.
Pizza delivery.
William Shatner.
You are closer with William Shatner, and there's a reason why.
Television.
There we go.
Yeah.
They had games, Vicky. They've had games for a long time. They've cribbage and card games and
Hammerschlagen.
Yeah.
But you like turn your nose at those. You like the big fancy games.
Well, but I bet back then those would have been my games.
Yeah, you would have figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Monopoly and Clue growing up before board games became what they are today. So I'm sure I would have dug all the card games. But yeah, I would be without my television. What the hell would I do? Well, how would I be entertained?
You do so many other things.
Interact with people?
No, I wouldn't do that. Come on now. You're getting crazy.
Maybe you pick up like an instrument and sit outside playing like the violin, like, what is it, a guy from Little House on the Prairie?
Yeah, or I'd watch people. Like you would go, people used to have you go to their houses to watch them play piano.
Yeah.
They would do stuff like that. They'd have parties, and either A, they'd have a professional player, or B, you'd have to listen to somebody's dumb kid.
So one of my favorite moments ever was we were at a big party, a bunch of us donkeys, hanging out at one of our buddies' house, and one of our buddies had somebody in his life with them, and she decided to sit in front of this piano that was at the house.
Yeah.
So it was like one of those moments where you're like, this is going to be cool. Anytime anyone wants to tickle the ivories,
sure.
Who knows what she's going to bust out? Maybe a Billy Joel song or Elton John or just something pretty cool.
Okay.
Sits down, gets in front of that. A group of people circle around her like, this is going to rock. She couldn't play the piano one.
Come on.
Dude, it was bad. It was like somebody that took maybe 4 lessons, couldn't even do chopsticks.
Why did she have a piano if she couldn't play?
No, she was a guest at the house.
Oh.
But she sat down like as if I'm going to put on a show.
Oh, that's bad.
It was awesome.
And did you all have to pretend that she was...
No, I laughed the entire time.
Oh, good for you. Good for you.
What do I do? I'm drunk, and you're terrible.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't know how to play the piano, you don't sit down at the fancy piano.
No, I think that might be her thing.
Oh, that's her thing. Oh, watch this, guys, and then she's just brutal.
I should do that, like at hotels. When they have a hotel piano,
yes.
Just sit down there, and you guys should be like, dude, this guy.
Oh yeah. All right,
let's go.
I'm ready for that next convention we go to.
And then I'll just try and be fancy, and then just
yeah. All right, that's a great impression, by the way.
Thank you.
So we're talking about the things that you would miss if you went back in time, because a lot of folks, they fantasize and romanticize the idea of living in a time that they weren't born into, and they go, oh, you know what? I wish I was around in the 50s.
Somebody said, I'll miss my 3D printer. I never even used a 3D printer.
I've had people print out stuff for me on a 3D printer, and it is cool. And I can only imagine, in 20 years, you'll have one in your house. I mean, we never thought we'd ever have a computer in the house, printers in the house. I mean, how about if we have basically a 3D printer that anything we need, we can just print up because, we just download it if I need a screw or if I need anything.
I'd print my dong all the time.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you would.
Look, babe, again.
You're the guy that used to fax his ass, right? Is that the idea? Because, when copiers first came out,
yes.
Were you the guy just putting your boys on there?
Oh, I would. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, you'll be putting your dong all the time.
So he says I would miss women wearing thongs.
Yeah. Well, they could still wear them. They had loincloths back in the day, too.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone turned them into a thong.
Yeah. Well, maybe you could be the trendsetter if you go back in time.
Yeah. See, I like the boycott shorts more.
Okay. I think they still had those.
Yes.
Because, I mean, they wore shorts. So these are the top 10 things that are being, that you'd miss if you went back in time. We're talking toilets that flush, the internet, central heating and air conditioning, televisions, your smartphone. Number 6, cars. We'd have to horse and buggy that BS.
Or bicycle.
Yeah, they did have some bicycles. I've been, on The Walking Dead, a lot of folks are now riding horses, to get around because since the zombies have taken over everything and gas is at a premium. So I don't know if I would want to be a horse guy because everybody did it.
What, like a razor scooter?
Yeah,
seems safe.
Yeah, you could probably get by with a razor scooter.
There's no paved areas. You're just going to bite it every 2 feet.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Being able to travel by plane. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be able to have my relationship with my wife the way it is.
Well, she wouldn't be able to get away from you.
Well, I mean, she could probably get in the stagecoach and just go west. She could Lewis and Clark her way away from me. She could try that.
I think we're forgetting one of the big ones, and I don't think it's been said.
Okay.
The internet porn. Because porn was a lot harder to get by. You might be able to see someone's, ankle if the wind kind of blew the dress up.
See, there's something about though that we all used
stash of magazines.
Yeah, we always should get together and do that. We get together and all find the magazines in the forest, or we'd go to all of us would go to a place together.
I thought you meant the second part of what happens when you watch.
I was about to say, you make fun of Steve for his group showers.
Yeah, well, look, there are a lot of dudes that actually would get together for the second part too, but my crew and I, don't forget the songs about it.
Hey, don't knock it until you try it, Red. A band named after that.
Exactly. Yeah. And but that was the thing. You had to go to places like the real whatever the seedy districts of your big city to go to the peep shows because there was or get the magazines.
Lusty lady.
Yeah, exactly.
They also had brothels back then. So
that's
were
a
they
good
really
point.
missing out?
You're right,
Danny. What was the going rate?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, it had to be cheap because not everybody was making a lot of money.
Well, I mean, some people were able to get nice cars and they're not doing well financially, and you wonder how that happens.
Well, either way, I mean, you watch
just a financing plan.
You watch the Deadwoods, you even watch the Gunsmokes, and Miss Kitty. A lot of people don't know, but I mean, that was a show that I watched as a kid. I had no idea that Miss Kitty was a hooker. I didn't know that her and her gang that's what they were doing.
Miss Kitty.
I know. I never realized it, which is a great name for Miss Kitty.
Yes.
You're absolutely right, dude. It was brilliant on the Gunsmoke part, which, we're talking in the 50s and 60s when this show was out there.
Yeah, it's subtle unless you know.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, all right, yay, Miss Kitty.
And back in the day, hookers actually made a lot of money because as everyone moved west and was looking for gold or whatever they were doing, ladies would come in and start brothels, and then that's kind of how they built a town. They built a town around these brothels.
They were seamstresses, Vicky. Come on.
That's how Seattle became.
Yeah.
Well, we are in the right place if we want to go back in time for that.
Hookers ruled this town.
Oh, you kidding me?
Hookers and rats.
Yeah. Woohoo! Supermarkets, I would totally miss. Yeah. Dude, I remember when supermarkets really started coming into prevalence in the 60s.
How far back in time are we going?
Dude, supermarkets, how far back? I mean, if you go beyond the 50s, where there were no supermarkets beyond the 50s.
Well, I guess it was they had markets.
Yeah, but supermarkets were different.
Stores, yes.
Yeah, supermarkets were huge because you could get so much there. You go to a market and, you could get maybe fresh vegetables, but you couldn't get the frozen stuff. You couldn't get your dairy and as well as all your cereals and your products, all the stuff like the processed products. Supermarkets were awesome for that. And I was a little kid, I remember I was so wide-eyed, I can get Twinkies, I can get whatever I want. You couldn't always get that at the little market.
Like Aaron from Everett says, I'd miss women wearing yoga pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? There's the women that look sexy. You find a way for a woman to look sexy. I think we'd make the adjustment.
I'd miss energy drinks.
Well, if you never, I guess I would. Yeah. Well, what was the coffee scene like back then?
Oh, dude, they were
not great.
No, what do you mean not great? They had the old West coffee every Western show.
If you think our coffee is trash, wait until you have Old West coffee.
It's probably like dirt.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Some people were digging it. I bet it was jacked up with the real good stuff. Also on the list, your laptop and Wi-Fi. Yeah, I mean, that all goes to internet, smartphones. We really are addicted to all that stuff.
Technology is definitely, obviously.
Yeah. I got to tell you about this dude's fear of spiders that led him to setting his house on fire. I'll tell you what happened at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Firefighters in California said a man who was house sitting for his parents tried to use a blowtorch to kill some spiders and set the home on fire. Oh, my God, the genius son he is.
What? I mean, and the crazy thing is, this is not the first time we've heard this story.
No.
This isn't. Once I read this, I was like, oh, this is an old news story. We've already talked about this. And then I look and see the date. And nobody learns from the stupidity of others, clearly.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Somebody had posted this on Facebook, and I thought it was a story we just talked about. And
Because we did.
Yeah, it's a different story because he told firefighters, found some black widow spiders in the house, and I get it. Those are bad. He'd been trying to kill them with a blowtorch when he sparked the blaze. No injuries were reported from the fire, which damaged the second story of the home and the attic, and that's just what I want to come home to after I let my genius kid watch the house. And,
although if you're going to take out a spider, a blowtorch is the way to do it.
A black widow spider. I don't blame the guy.
How big are black widows?
They're one of the most deadliest spiders.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm looking at them, yeah.
Yeah, they bite you, and I don't just get a flu-like symptom situation. I die.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, black widows are nasty.
We don't want that.
No, we don't want that. Now, but that's when you call the exterminator. You just go, hey,
Well, what if the spider gets away?
Well,
you got to think quick.
All you got to do is tell them they're over here in this area, and they'll just blast the F out of the joint, I think.
Well, that's what he did. Just fire.
Yeah, you don't want to
fire.
Fire. Yeah, and like you said, Steve, not the only person that's done something like this. Last October,
Fire.
Bye-bye, spider. This guy is an extreme Weasley is what that guy is for all you Harry Potter fans, so he does not like spiders. Last October, this Arizona Fire Department had to respond to a similar incident because a dude was attempting to use a propane torch to kill spiders under his family's mobile home. That lit the structure on fire. And look, it's one thing when you have a regular house, but you light your mobile home up, that's it.
Yeah.
That thing's going to go.
I mean, that's poor Bubbles lost his home.
That's how
Trailer Park Boys.
You're absolutely right. Poor Bubbles, man, lost his shed. Damn it, Ricky, you and your dope.
Yeah, dude, I'm looking at the damage. Boy, that's going to be $1 or $2 to fix.
I mean, again, my kid. But you have to know, right? You have to know your kid's that much of an idiot.
Well, I mean, we see adults doing it too. People who don't know how to handle spiders.
Yeah.
It's rather entertaining to see people freak out about spiders.
I mean, I get it. If I saw a black widow, I'd be tripping. If I saw any big spider, I think probably I would just give it the benefit of the doubt. But you know me, I already have a battle with spiders. They're my sworn enemy.
I'm just thinking, like, what are some of the crazier things you would do or have done based on whatever phobia you guys have? Because in my head, like, freaking the hell out, not thinking about it, using fire to kill a spider, I could see myself possibly doing that in the moment.
I love that the firefighter over there says, we don't ever recommend using some type of a heating device like that to get rid of any vermin or spiders.
Yeah.
Thank you for pointing out that.
Vicky, you're a firebug, though. Vicky's already set fire to stuff in her life, so that's your go-to destructive element.
See, when it comes to spiders, I mean, I try and just catch them and let them out. But sometimes it's my wife's freaking out about it, and I mean, I've taken like a vacuum cleaner and just sucked it up.
Oh,
but then I have nightmares that they're gonna like come out of the vacuum cleaner and come find me in my bed.
I'm not cleaning out the vacuum cleaner.
Okay,
you just empty out that stuff into the garbage outside.
You empty it out into the room of your best friend that's afraid of spiders.
One time we did have a spider that was pretty damn big. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we're still bigger than it, but it was freaking me out. It kind of looked like these black widow spiders that you guys are talking about, and I was just like, oh man, this is giving me the heebie-jeebies. I was younger. I took my old hockey stick and covered the butt end of the hockey stick with the backside of duct tape, so the sticky side was out.
Oh, nice!
And I just jabbed at it and got it stuck on the duct tape. And then I realized, now I got to get this duct tape off, so the spider stuff was stuck on me. It was a bad call.
That was a bad call. Well, that's why we have these traps that the exterminator brings, and they're sticky traps. Just hoping you put them on the side of the walls in dark places, and you hope that all the black widows and everybody just go in because there's a smell or something. I don't know. So I don't think there's anything that tracks them. They just sort of go in there, and next thing you know, they're stuck.
Well, a lot of people are saying that you can't die. You're not going to die from a black widow spider, BJ.
Really? I thought they're fatal.
It says most healthy people won't die from a black widow's bite. They can kill you, but it's unusual. Kids, old people, and weak people.
Old
you
people,
got 2 or 3.
Yeah. Dude, seriously, and I think like a kid, so I think it's 3 out of 3.
Okay, there you go.
I'm in trouble.
So it says my wife's coworker set her backyard fence on fire trying to kill a spider with a blowtorch.
Again, You really shouldn't use fire to fight these little guys, okay? That's not a good idea.
Scorpions would freak me out.
Oh, my buddy
That's
just...
why I couldn't live in Arizona.
He just put one on Facebook, my buddy. It was on a plate.
No.
He was just like, he pulled a plate out of his kitchen, where the hutch, and there was Sammy the Scorpion just hanging there.
Is it the same guy that we know, BJ? That does the scorpion thing? Because I know a guy who lives down there as well, and I think we both know him, who there's so many scorpions that he had a kill count for a summer. And it was in like the 20s.
Yeah, I remember that guy too. This is a different guy, but I know the guy you're talking about too, Rev. Yeah. Well, I have a few friends that just live in scorpion country, and it's just...
All of Phoenix is scorpion country. You literally walk out there with a black light, and they just glow green at night. And
I couldn't do it. I would never open a window. I probably would never leave my house. I would duct tape all the cracks.
I lived in Phoenix for 2.5 years, never saw one.
What?
I can't believe it. I shook the boots out, all my shoes out like you're supposed to. And Danny, I know because everybody told me how much they saw them. I don't know how I missed the scorpions. Like, I hit spiders are biting me every year, but I didn't get one scorpion that I remember seeing at all. And I don't know if my kids ever saw scorpions either while we lived in Phoenix. But
somebody said, Danny, in New Mexico, we had vinegaroons.
Oh, yeah. Those are huge spiders. If I know what they're talking about. Let me see.
Vinegaroons?
Oh, my gosh. It looks like a scorpion spider.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
It looks like the logo on Spider-Man's chest.
Yeah. Oh, it sprays acid, too.
Yeah,
it sprays acid. It's a spidery scorpion that sprays acid.
It's a drug dealer.
It's a supervillain.
They're the weirdest things that you've ever seen in your life.
That does look really weird.
And I don't remember seeing those in Phoenix, but you have in New Mexico.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Damn.
They're everywhere.
And I'm trying to be cool with spiders because, they do kill all the other bugs that we don't want, the pests. But I have a rule. If I can't reach you, I'm not going to kill you or trap you. I'm not going to go out of my way. So if you're up on the ceiling, but I did that once in my kitchen, and this effer came down to my stairs. I was like, crap, now I can reach you. I have to get rid of you. And I tried to trap it.
Yep.
This effort jumped on me.
Oh,
and I go down screaming down the stairs like a crazy person and just rolling, trying to get it off me. And no. Nope.
I have these I found some plastic spiders in my garage when we were cleaning out. Vicky was helping. Oh, it was so much fun.
Oh, you evil person.
I just threw them at Vicky every time. And she knows they're plastic spiders, but she didn't care.
But what if the one time he's able to catch a spider and throw it on me?
Or what if one of a spider's hanging out with the plastic ones knowing that BJ's doing that? This is my chance to get to Vicky because she's going to think I'm just a plastic toy.
Exactly.
Playing possum as a spider. Nice.
One person says when I lived in Florida, you had to check your mailbox before you stuck your hand in because scorpions would get in there at night.
In Florida?
Yeah.
I lived in, I don't know what part of Florida he was in. I lived in Florida. I didn't know we had scorpions down there. I lived in the Jacksonville area.
Maybe scorpions are scared of you, man.
Could be.
Because another person, I'm with you, BJ, lived in Phoenix for 3 years, never saw a scorpion.
See, in Florida, I was worried about the gators. If there were scorpions, I'm sorry, but we have little baby gators living in our pond in our housing development. I don't need to worry about scorpions. I need to worry about those there.
There are 3 types of scorpions that live in Florida, but none of them are going to be fatal stings.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes me feel better. Yeah, right.
It'll just hurt like hell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, what's a little pain?
I remember the first time going to Phoenix thinking that the scorpions were going to look like black and kind of big and stuff, and they were just like the little translucent ones.
Oh, like the goldish, brownish, translucent guys. Yeah.
That's why I was really surprised that that's what they look like.
And they blend in, dude.
So good.
All with the desert, not same color. Next thing you know, you got a scorpion on your sack. Careful, boys.
Wow.
Because, sometimes you like to sit in the sand. You're naked, Who doesn't do that in Phoenix?
Oh,
yeah. Yesterday, Steve, he got this one wrong.
Smoke on the Water is a hit sung by what band?
Smoke on the water.
Do it, Steve.
Blue Oyster Cult?
No.
What the hell? Oh, man. Smoke on the... damn it. Bachman Turner Overdrive.
No.
I can't think of it. I'll come back. Pass.
You know what? You did not take care of business on that one.
I got back to it, though.
Yeah. You did. You did get Deep Purple. I'll give you that.
But it was too late.
Too late. Call in now if you want a shot at beating Steve. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs at 847 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's a question from a listener. My house is currently in foreclosure. I've stopped making payments. What can I do to save my house?
If you're already in foreclosure behind on your mortgage, you can stop the foreclosure by filing a bankruptcy. There's different types of bankruptcy. Chapter 13 can help you catch up on your house payments if you're behind. It would mean that you'd have to start making your house payments again and catch up on the amount that you're behind over 5 years. You could also take off or strip off your second mortgage, which would help you to reduce your housing payment every month, especially once you're done with the plan and done catching up on your first mortgage. We could also try to buy you some time by filing a Chapter 13 case. Filing a Chapter 13 would definitely stop your foreclosure.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. And thanks for listening.
Innovation, resilience, agility. It's how Michigan businesses work together and continue to build the future. Our expertise, talented workforce, and collaborative environment are making a difference now and shaping the future. Join us and make your mark where it matters. Visit michiganbusiness.org/radio to put your plans in motion. That's michiganbusiness.org/radio.